All right. Well, we're back in studio. Um, I have a very special guest. We've been talking about this for a while, and I'll just say like this: I had to return the favor. And if you can tell from that laugh, you already know who it is. I have with me today Jorge Aquino.
It's Aquino.
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 All right.
You good, baby.
I have Jorge Aquino, the host and creator of Tormenting Tarmac podcast. Sir,
My dude.
it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Such a treat to
Hey,
be here, bro.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you for one, man. And,
Oh, that means a lot, man.
I,
Same.
again, was grateful you had me on Tormenting Tarmac.
That was a fun episode, too.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we can get away with talking more wrestling.
Oh, we
on
sure
mine
can. 100%.
because I don't care what anybody wants to hear. I
We
talk
don't
about
care.
what I want to talk about.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tough to go ahead and have a podcast called Tormenting Tarmac that focuses on car culture, and all of a sudden you
Amen.
throw in like half an hour worth of professional wrestling, like half an hour that people weren't necessarily requesting,
Yeah.
but we just went ahead and gave it to them anyway.
I'm sorry if you lost a few subs.
You know what? I don't know. The episode did okay, so I'm not here to go ahead and complain. And again, it's pop culture. Plus, as we said on the podcast, John Cena does the voices for the Honda commercials.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, it all comes together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen. But how you doing today?
Dude, again, as you stated, we've been looking forward to this for 2 months. Like I was waiting for this day to arrive. So like genuinely, like other than hanging out with my wife and kids, biggest reason I was ready to go ahead and be like done with work was so I could go ahead and get dressed and like be like, all right, so I got to be there at what time, and we get there earlier.
Amen. Gives us
Yeah.
more time to chat. Too.
100% too. Yeah, we just went ahead and chopped it up for like a half hour, just making sure that we were all good and stuff like that. But
Amen.
I'm doing good, man. Like, additionally, like, I don't know if you were following this. Were you following the Artemis by any chance? NASA sending up the astronauts. You been following it all?
Nah.
No?
I mean,
Alright.
like
Fair enough.
bits and pieces because
Sure.
I did see one of my favorite rappers, Denzel Curry,
Uh-huh.
is the first rapper to be played in space.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so
Really?
I
Oh,
saw
that's
that.
so
I was
sick,
like, that's
bro.
dope.
Yo, that's kind of dope. We've come a long way, baby.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's
You know?
about the only thing I caught. I'm like, all
Of
right.
all people, Denzel Curry. Huh?
Hey, look.
That's an interesting one.
That's,
Okay, I'll
that's
take
my
it.
dog.
Good for him. Good
Look,
for him. I ain't gonna
There's
lie.
there's a list of
Yeah.
celebrities.
Sure.
If they somehow, some way DM me and said they wanted to come on the pod, I will drop everything.
For Denzel Curry.
He's one of them.
Okay.
Other one, Lewis Hamilton, of course.
Yeah, of course. No doubt.
Third, Barack Obama.
Yo, you know how many times people have asked me, it's like, if you could go ahead and have dinner with 3 people, who would you choose? And every single time, there's 2 individuals who always make it into my round table. One of them being Paul Walker. May he rest in peace. Even though I listen, I think people are getting a little bit too comfortable with talking about his age difference between him
Hey,
and
look,
his woman.
man.
But you know what?
That's
I'm not
none of
here
my
to debate
business.
that.
That's none of my business.
It's none
bro.
of my
I'm
business,
sorry.
bro. It's none of my
Do
business.
I have opinion? Sure.
Sure.
Is it my business to speak?
I
on?
love Brian
No.
O'Connor. Okay? I
Yeah,
love Brian O'Connor.
yeah,
That's
but
all I'll say.
There's a point where
Yeah.
you gotta say it's not my business.
It's
but
none of my
anyway,
business. Anyways, he's one of the biggest characters in one of my favorite
Amen,
franchises. So that's what it is. But the other individual is always Barack Obama.
oh
It's
yeah.
always President
You know,
Obama. 100%.
I always tell people, look, I'm not the most political dude in the world by
Uh-huh.
any means, if not at all. I'll throw out there, deal with it. I don't care. But Barry was one of them few dudes I sat there and said, I just really like how he carries himself.
Well, I think he's one of the most well-spoken and eloquent individuals we ever had in any type of public
Exactly.
service. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care whichever way you slice it.
Exactly.
I don't care if you didn't like his policies. I'm talking about like the way that he carries himself.
Exactly.
You know, like he carries himself with a certain sense of decorum. By the way, there's a lot of other individuals who carry themselves with a certain sense of President Bush still carries himself with a certain sense of decorum. You know what I mean? And a few others. But I think it's the way that you carry yourself.
Amen.
And
Amen.
how you express yourself. And Barack still carries himself that way, as does his wife Michelle. 100%.
And it's funny. I feel like me and us being podcast colleagues, we kind of have that same mentality. There's a certain way that we've learned to carry ourselves, regardless of who we're speaking with.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, sometimes we might get a little brash at times with how we feel about certain things. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I can 100% say neither one of us comes off as a dick to anybody.
I would hope that I do not come across as a dick to anybody.
Now, I always say, if you test me, I'll show you. I'm just letting you know.
Yo, man, let me tell you something. There's been some people out there testing me, DeVante.
Oh,
they've been testing. Yo, don't test Papa Tarmac. I don't want to give you the smoke. I really don't. Right. But when you put a mic in front of me, pipe bombs galore.
You want to throw out some names?
Nah.
Come on, just give me one.
You want me to go ahead and throw out a person who I got? Who's?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Papa Tarmac is a good individual who tries to represent this community as best as he can.
That's fine.
At the end of the day, I do not like individuals who, how do I put it? Don't like individuals who will go ahead and make up a story and it's something else completely different. I'll leave it at that. That's something that doesn't necessarily sit well with me.
So I'm gonna get a name off camera. Is what you say?
We can have that discussion potentially off camera if you want. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Now, before we pivot, I just want to say, I don't duck no verbal fades. So, hey, come on. I made a grown football player cry. So I'm prepared to run this fade at any second.
he's prepared to
I'm just saying.
No, listen, dude. At the end of the day, I think anybody who has, because I've been doing TT for like 4.5 years now. It's coming on 5. And the amount of people that I've gotten a chance to go ahead and get to know in this respective community, I've come to really cherish and admire. And there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of people who put me in the seat that I'm sitting in with you today. There's a reason why you were like, hey, I want you to go ahead and come on the show, because you probably heard of me from other individuals. I know for a fact you heard of me because of Mari. Shout out to Mari.
Yep.
I got nothing but love for her. She was a great episode of mine, and funny enough, I think we recorded with her right around the same time within like a couple of weeks, which is like Mari was on top of the world for like a month. So you're welcome, Mari. We did that for you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just joking. She's the best, but like you know, I'm sure she's one of the individuals that go ahead and sent me your way. There's other individuals who probably, I would hope people have put my name out there.
And then we met at the warehouse.
At the warehouse,
yeah.
I'll never not shout out Rebecca Wynn.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, in these last 4.5 years, going on 5, like I recognize that I've gone ahead and put myself out there with a lot of individuals who I've been blessed enough to go ahead and either become acquaintances with, or more even better with friends, and so I view everything from the landscape of like I'm just really grateful. So like, if for whatever reason I have been rubbed the wrong way by someone, it took a lot to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot to get to that point.
Yeah. Nah, trust me, I get you 100%. It's like, I actually got told or asked the other day by a gentleman I just worked with, DeVante, how are you so patient? I'm like, honestly, dude, like, it comes from just even growing up as a kid, like, just always being so mellow and so quiet. Like, my mom told me one time that when I was, like, little kid, she used to forget I was actually in the house because I was so quiet. Yeah.
Mama DeVante, what are we doing? Mama Mac, what are we doing? I'm just kidding. No, all due respect. I totally get it. I totally, as someone who's got kids, I get it.
Oh, yeah. But I told him, like, honestly, I think the thing that helps me is having an understanding of, not everybody views things the way that I do.
Yeah.
So you have to always take that into consideration. B, everybody's upbringing to how they learn things is different.
No doubt.
Yeah, so I'd say that's the key one because it tells me, are there times where I'm over here thinking to myself, like, dude, how do you not know these? Yeah. Of course. But then I also have to sit there and say, somebody's probably saying that about me too.
Yo, no doubt. Like, people say that about, I'm sure people say that about me all the time.
Oh, yeah. So, it's just, it takes time.
Sure. Well, like the cool thing that I've also noticed over the last like few years that I've surrounded myself with everybody and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who are younger than I am. Like I'm older, I think, than a lot of you. I'm a little older than you are. I'm a little older than a lot of the people that I've made friends with over the last few years and stuff like that. But I'm not that old. I'm only 36, turning 37 this October. And but instead of them looking up to me, I look up to them because of what they've been able to accomplish at a younger stage than I have. Maybe they had an easier way of getting there. Maybe. Not all of them. Definitely. Several of them did not have the easy way. Like most of them did not have the easy way. But to go ahead and still have your head on right, to be able to, have the talent, to have the wherewithal to go ahead and be able to get to the point that they have gotten to. And that's a lot of my friends whom I'm very grateful to go ahead and have, is something that I give every single one of them dap for, because they didn't take the easy way out. They didn't take the hard way out either. They just took the path that made the most sense to them.
Yeah.
And they were able to go ahead and accomplish something good within their lives.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just crazy, especially since really getting more into the podcast space, because funny enough, and I'll actually drop this bomb right now, I originally did not want to be a podcaster.
Oh, really?
I really did not care. I more so just wanted to do all my other projects, like the Drinks and Kicks project. And even still to this day, I don't care about being in front of the camera. Like, it's cool at times. Does it really interest me all the time? No. But I say, what made me really get more into the podcasting space was probably somebody giving me kudos of being really good at drawing out answers out of people that they never really would have sat there and thought about.
Right.
And, I didn't realize how good I was at that till somebody actually had to bring it up to me. So, since being in the podcast space, it's been great to meet people like yourself. It's been great to meet people like Jay Fanning. It's just, now I try to look at it from the perspective of, okay, where can I take this?
Right.
Who else can I work with? How can I be better at this?
Yeah.
That's a constant battle that I'm always having with myself. I don't know if you have that same battle since you've been doing this much longer than I have.
It's not even about comfort in front of the camera. I don't always feel that comfortable in front of the camera. But I always do feel comfortable in front of the mic. There's two different things.
Okay. No, I totally get what you're saying.
The whole face for radio thing, that's something that sometimes plays into my mind. But that being said, every once in a while people are like, yo, Jorge, you look good. I'm like, thank you. But if I go all the way back to like high school and stuff like that, I remember when I was in I think it was my creative writing class.
Oh, okay.
And I had to go ahead and write up a paper, and I had to go ahead and talk about like what I wanted to do. And I always, for a long time, when I was a kid, I actually, especially as I went older in high school, I wanted to go ahead and be a sports center anchor. Like one of my biggest inspirations in that space was, may he rest in peace, Stuart Scott. Like, I loved Stuart Scott.
Okay.
SVP, still love him to this day. I don't watch ESPN anywhere near as often as I used to, but Scott Van Pelt was someone that I really enjoyed watching, especially him together with Stuart Scott. A variety of different dudes that were on ESPN and stuff like that, and I kind of wanted to be those guys, and I always thought to myself, I was like, well, maybe I'll go ahead and get myself a communication degree, or I'll go ahead and get myself a broadcasting degree and stuff like that. So that's how originally like my idea kind of came up, of like someday I wanted to go ahead and do that, and then I never went that route. But then I also fell in love with radio, and so like we're in Phoenix, and I know that people don't listen to the radio anywhere near as often as they used to.
You're right.
But like I grew up on like John Jay and Rich here in
Yep.
Tucson at 93.7 KRQ before they got moved up to Phoenix, and now they obviously broadcast for both 104.7 FM, KISS. They're also like all over the country. People don't realize like John Jay and Rich's morning show was enormous.
Oh yeah.
And I grew up listening to that when I was going to high school, when I was going to middle school. I remember I met John Jay 2 or 3 years ago at one of the like animal cars, like cars and canines shows that they do in Scottsdale.
Oh, okay.
And like his Love Pup Foundation was there. And I see him. John Jay's like pretty tall dude. And I was like, holy crap, that's John Jay. Like, I grew up listening to this dude. So I walk up to him, I was like, yo, John Jay, what's up, man? Like, it's a real treat to meet you. Like, you know, I've been listening to you since I was in middle school, man. And I'm like, I was like 35 at the time. He's like, man, you didn't really have to make me feel that old. And we laughed about it, but I was like, nah, man, no disrespect. I meant no disrespect. I just, you know, you're a legend, you know, and just like, it's really great to meet you. You know, I still love radio to this day. And for you and Rich to still be like how big you are these days, it just speaks volumes to the work ethic and stuff like that. And he appreciated that. And so, but like,
cool.
You know, that love for radio, and it goes back, like I still rock with like the Breakfast Club, like Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. Like Charlamagne the God has become a media mogul to an extent because he's everywhere, but he's amazing and he's very, very talk about brash. Charlamagne the God is brash.
Yeah.
You know? That's not my style, but I can definitely appreciate him, and I appreciate Envy for what he's able to go ahead and bring to the table as well as like more of a mediator.
Yeah.
And so like, I still that was I think what probably had the love of radio, and that's they were even later because they didn't start for a while and stuff like that. But like just listening to the people that I would listen to on the radio in my hometown in Tucson was kind of like, oh man, I kind of rock with that. So it formed into podcasting later on. Okay. But there was a love for radio originally. Sports talk radio too, like still goes hard to these days.
Oh yeah.
They do it right.
Amen.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy too to hear that because, you know, take you meeting John Jay and Rich, like, you know, the whole, they say don't meet your heroes. For one, let me just say this. I'm glad that it went well for you because
you're not the first person to say that.
Well, out of every celebrity that I have met, or even an athlete,
sure,
there's one dude. I was ready to run that fade that day. I'm not gonna lie.
Why don't you name drop that?
Oh, sure, gladly. Deebo Samuel.
Oh, the football player.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude was the biggest dick I've ever met in my life for no reason. So let me tell this story. Because he's still trying to do his thing. I will not name names. Well, his name. But we got invited to his house. I was at Deebo Samuel's house in Scottsdale.
Okay.
From the moment we got there, the dude just started being a dick for no reason.
To all of his guests, or to you, just you guys?
To me and him.
Okay.
Me and my buddy. I'm over here just like, bro, if we weren't here to do business, like, I would have ran this fade because I'm sitting there sizing up Deebo. I'm like, bro, for one, me and you were the same size. So, like, I don't feel intimidated at all at this point.
Sure.
Like,
not like he's, even though you're both the same size, it's, you know, he's also like, because what does he play? Does he play corner?
No, he's a wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Somewhat of a wide receiver. But anyway.
You ain't that talented, bro. I'm just kidding. Actually, do I mean it? Maybe I do. Maybe I do.
I'll say he's not the best receiver in the world. He's a good, how can I put it?
I think you're a better podcaster than he is a receiver. Is that fair?
Oh, I appreciate that. You know? All I'm saying is, bro, he's a good plug and play piece. That's about it. Okay. But I'm just sitting there like, bro, like, why are you being such a dick? And you told us to come to your house.
Right.
Like, we can leave if you're having that bad of a day.
Sure.
I'm totally okay with that. It just sucked for me because at the time he was playing for the 49ers. Right. I'm a 49er fan.
Okay.
So, like, I'm over here like, well, dang, here I thought it was gonna be great. I don't even want to be here no more, bro. So you best believe after that moment, wasn't even a fan no more. I just started looking at his on-field play.
Started to criticize him a lot more. Are you meaning to tell me that you had the Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James type situation?
No, not at all. Because don't even get me started on Stephen A. Smith.
That's
I might have to turn the camera off. Yeah, but look, I just sat there and said, as soon as he requested that trade, I'm like, oh, thank God, bro. Right. I don't even want you here no more.
I feel that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been for the most part pretty lucky on those types of interactions. There's been a couple where I was like, yeah, that wasn't as great as I would have liked. I think I met Richard Jefferson one time.
Oh, okay.
And it was fine. You know what I mean? And this was like, I think this was like right after he graduated U of A. So it's been like early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
I would probably been like 11 or 12. And it was fine. You know, back when I used to work at the hotel in 2016, may have told you the story. If I have,
you have not.
Okay, well, cool. I'm not sure if I've told it on TT, but I'll be glad to go ahead and tell it here. So I used to go ahead and be a hotel front desk at the one of the Marriotts by the U of A in Tucson, and SmackDown was in town at the Tucson Convention Center.
Oh, cool.
And it was the SmackDown after Money in the Bank 2016.
Oh, wow.
So we're going back 10 years. Now, anybody, professional wrestling starts now.
Actually,
you want to hold off?
Before you go,
okay,
we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
All right.
Quick question: have you been thinking about buying or selling a home in Arizona? Because if you have, you need to talk with my guy Tim Tafoya with Real Broker. Tim knows the Valley market and makes the whole process way easier than you'd expect. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or trying to sell for top dollar, he's going to guide you every step of the way and make sure you make smart moves. And listen, don't wait until everyone else jumps into the market and competition heats up. The best time to start is right now. Make sure to hit Tim up. That is, call or text at 623-755-7635. Or you can email him at Tim Tafoya, that's TIMTAFOYA, Tim Tafoya 95 at gmail.com. And please, make sure to tell him you heard about him from this podcast. That's Tim Tafoya, Real Broker. Real agents, real results. Let's make that move happen.
So, tell me more about this story.
All right, so I'm at the hotel, and my boss, the front desk manager, she knew how big of a professional wrestling fan I was.
Okay.
And so a few weeks before, we found out that we had several of the WWE locker rooms staying at my hotel.
Oh, cool.
For SmackDown. So this would have been Tuesday, or this would have been Monday night going into late Tuesday morning. So a bunch of them are coming. So that year, Money in the Bank took place in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And so that Monday Night Raw took place in Phoenix at the U.S. Airways Center. And so SmackDown took place in Tucson. And so I actually ended up coming in at like 5:30 p.m. And then working till 2 a.m. It was a really weird shift, but she wanted me there because she knew that I would A, enjoy it, and B, I'd probably take care of them really, really well, which I, to this day, am very grateful to her for putting me on that shift. Even though my wife was like, you're working 5 p.m. to 2, and I'm like, it's the only time I'll go ahead and allow it because the whole locker room is coming. And I met a lot of wrestlers that night, and they were, for the most part, a lot of them very kind to me. I met AJ Styles in the club that night. You know, dude, I too sweeted AJ Styles and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows the following day. Like we were by the valet stand, and I'm like being super professional, right? Getting my Barack Obama on, And so I'm like right there with them, and they're waiting for their car to be brought up. And then as they're getting ready to go over to SmackDown over at the TCC, like 5 minutes later, I know he's huffing and puffing because he's an enormous AJ Styles fan. So he's actually really jealous of me right now. That's what I want people to realize. And so I hope and pray that he is the main event inductee for the Hall of Fame. Everybody keeps telling me it's going to be Stephanie. If it's Stephanie, I'm crashing out. I love Stephanie McMahon, but I will crash out. But
we'll speak on that in a moment.
Yeah. But as the car was pulling up, I was like, helping AJ, helping Gallows, helping Anderson. And I was like, fellas, I'm supposed to keep it really professional right now. But I just, before y'all go, can I too sweet y'all real quick? And he was like, too sweet, brother. Oh, I too sweeted Gallows, Styles, Anderson. I was like, day has been made. My day has been made. It was amazing. I met them that night. Met Byron Saxton that night. Super nice, dude. Super nice.
I've heard.
Super nice. Who else did I meet? I met Baron Corbin. Super cool dude.
Yeah, I've always heard
super
he's a cool dude.
I met Natalia. Natalia was an absolute sweetheart and a half. I met Becky Lynch.
Oh,
she's alright to me. It was kind of made me feel a little bit sad because I was a really, really, really big Becky Lynch fan and stuff. Still am. She's one of the greatest of all time. But it was whatever. It did not all the way, but she was still nice. I met Sasha that night.
Oh, cool.
It was okay as well. Who else did I meet that was absolutely like very kind to me? Dana Brooke.
Oh,
yeah. This was back in the day where she was still in the company and whatnot. She was really kind. I smile because this one was really dope, because as dope as it was to meet AJ, I also met Daniel Bryan that night.
Oh, cool.
And so I was like, oh, dude. He comes in to check in. I was like, yo, D-Bry, it's beyond a pleasure, bro. And this was like during his time of being general manager, because he had to retire for like a couple of years because of his neck issues. And so it was like really overwhelming to go ahead and meet D-Bry like after everything. And I was like, he was real chill.
Okay.
And who else did I meet? I met a few people. Oh, I met Paige. Paige was in the company at the time.
Oh, okay.
And this was also the first time that Alberto Del Rio had come back to the company. So, like, I still like Alberto Del Rio to this day, but I know that a lot of people don't.
Yeah. It's like, I get it.
I get it. At the time, it was really dope, and I was, like, super excited to meet him, and he was very kind to me. I actually ran into him the following day. So this is what I did. This is how crazy I am, bro. One of the producers was there, and she was like, are you coming to the show tomorrow night? And I was like, I'm working, so I can't. She was like, well, if you end up switching, I will go ahead and get you free tickets since you were a really big fan. And I was like, say less. I get off at 2 o'clock in the morning that night, go home. I think it was like 1:30 or 2. Ooh. And I asked my boss right before I left. I texted her at like 11:30, which was extremely late. I was like, what are the chances of you going ahead and like letting me be off in the afternoon? She was like, no chance. And I was like, okay. What about if I switched my schedule? She's like, well, what time are you going to come in? I was like, what if I came in like 9 to 4 or 9 to 5? She's like, if you want to come in at 9 after you get off at 1:30 or 2, that's completely up to you. And I said, please? She's like, okay, cool. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, I guess I'm going to go to SmackDown. I'm guessing I'm going to SmackDown, bro.
Oh, man. My God.
I went to SmackDown, and then the following day, I see Alberto Del Rio run to him in the atrium, and we were talking in Spanish, and I just said what's up to him. I was like, yo, man, you have no idea how good it is to have you back in the company. And again, mind you, this was before his bigger issues that he had and stuff like that. But I still, people change. I recognize that he didn't say the greatest things about the company. I recognize that him and Paige's relationship really went bad. Yeah. But he was very kind to me.
Oh, yeah.
And so I actually interviewed him for my old wrestling podcast back in the day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that was a really cool thing. And I told him about that story, and he didn't remember it. I didn't expect him to, but he was appreciative of the fact that I showed him a lot of love in a time where he felt he needed a lot of love from his fans. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it completely. Nah, man. You know, it's crazy to hear that because I've only been to one wrestling show.
Okay.
And ironically, you know what show that was?
What?
AEW Double or Nothing when it was out here.
Oh, that was just last summer.
Exactly.
Nice.
That was the first ever wrestling show I've ever
It was
been
pretty
to.
good too.
Dude. Wait, did you go?
No, I didn't get
Okay.
a chance.
Look, let me tell
I
you.
feel like I actually need to go to an AEW show.
So let me tell you, that hands down was one of the greatest live spectacles I've ever been to.
Yeah,
because
going to a wrestling show
so
is different.
here's what's cool. I'm thinking about going.
Yeah.
I hit up one of my good friends that I also do a podcast with, which I'm hoping he brings it back this year. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about going to AEW. If I find good enough tickets, you want to go? He's like, yeah, sure. So I'm like, honestly, bro, don't even worry about the tickets. I wrote those off. So we
Never happened. It never happened.
So we get there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, where we sitting?" As soon as we get to our seats, he's like, "How much did you pay for these?" I'm like, "Bro, less than 150 each."
That's what's up.
Dude, we were right there, like cat a corner, a little bit above from the floor
Yeah.
in the ring. Coming to find out,
And this was in Glendale.
yes,
Yeah.
coming to find out, so one of my cousins is actually great friends with JEFFJARRET. Jeff
that's
Jarrett.
Yeah.
So he hits me up because he's in town. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to AEW. You going?" I'm like, "Actually, I will be there." He's like,
I will be.
yeah, and he's like, "You should have told me. I would have got you
Oh, that's
tickets."
too
I'm like,
funny.
"Oh my god."
Yeah.
So, but what's cool about it is, so he's actually cool with all the wrestlers and all that. He's actually gotten really cool with West Side Gun.
Oh,
who
wow.
has his own wrestling promotion, Fourth Rope.
Yep.
So,
And West Side Gun also has affiliated himself with AEW a few
Mhm.
times too.
yeah, especially since WWE did him dirty.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
WWE has a tendency to do that.
Yep, indeed. But you know, that event was so great because you know they had the Anarchy in the arena.
Yeah.
That was such a fun match to watch, especially live when they started playing bodies.
What was? Yeah, I know, dude. First of all, the first Anarchy in the arena, which was, it was it was Jericho's team. What were they
Mhm.
called? It was the Jericho Appreciation Society
Yep, mhm.
versus like
I can't even remember.
it was the Blackpool Combat Club and a few other people.
Yes.
That first one, I remember I watched it live with my friend Tom. We were watching it live on pay-per-view. And when Justin Roberts, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan." That's literally how he announces it. It was hilarious, dude.
Like,
It was so good.
Like, I tell you what made Double or Nothing so fun
Yeah.
was just the fact of like all the matches were just so enjoyable to
Sure.
watch. Now, I will say this, I'm a very big Mina Shirakawa fan.
Okay.
And look, it's not just because she looks good. That's part of it. I'm not going to lie to you. But I really like the story of how she got into wrestling so late.
Okay.
And she's like got so good really quick.
Sure.
So that's always cool to see.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact of she always looks like she's having fun.
Sure.
And that's what I like to see.
Well, I think if for those who don't watch professional wrestling to me has always been an art form.
Yes.
People look at me when I say that to them. I've had people look at me and say, "Yo, professional wrestling is an art form," and they've laughed at me. They're like, "I'm sorry, what?" I'm like, first of all, kick rocks.
Exactly.
Like, it is an art form. It's different. It's not for
Mhm.
everybody. It's really not for
Amen.
everybody.
Amen.
But if you are into, let's say, action movies, right?
Mhm.
I'm an action movie buff. Stunt coordination is an art form.
Oh yeah.
You got to make it's got to look natural and
Oh yeah.
whatnot.
Amen.
That's what professional wrestling is. It's choreographed. You have to go ahead and have insane chemistry with this one individual to go ahead and make everything look flowy and good. And then, you have to, there's so much like making sure that it was like right on point, and it's literally an art form. It's very it's sacred. So if you ever watch a match, whether it's in WWE or in AEW, they're really, really about this. But like, before they walk in and go under the ropes or whatever, they'll go ahead and always wipe their feet. You know, because the mat is sacred to them. But, you know, so out of respect, they're always going to go ahead and wipe their feet. Like to these people, it matters to them. This is their life choices all rolled up into one.
Amen.
So like, I love it. I am also at a point in my life, which you and I kind of talked about this when you were on TT a few months back, when John Cena retired. I feel like it was a chapter closing, but not just a chapter. I felt like it was a series finale for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still following the products.
Yeah.
I am. Like, I'm excited for Punky and Roman. There's things that are making me mad about that feud, but I'm still like, he dropped the pipe bomb of all pipe bombs on Monday night, and I was like, you saw my story, and I was like, put me in front of DeVante's mic. I'm like, go scorched earth. I haven't gone there yet. I'm not sure if I will, but like, hey, you know? And so, but the only thing that's keeping me invested is very, very small amounts of people, because I am getting to a point where it's not that I'm not aging out of it. I'm not. But I am.
It's hard to keep up with the product because it feels kind of lackluster.
You just took the word right out of my head.
Yeah,
you just took.
I
feels
talked
lackluster.
about this on the trend.
Yeah,
with WrestleMania, I feel like it's gonna be lackluster.
We'll
touch on that in a second.
We'll touch on that in a second.
But
because you said it was a hot take, and I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a very normal.
Oh yeah.
Very mid-temperature take. No disrespect, but literally a lot of us feel the same way you just described.
Because I sit there and tell people all the time, like, you know, a lot of my OGs have gotten back into wrestling.
Yeah.
And I tell
AEW had a lot to do with that 7 years ago, let me tell you.
Yes, I totally agree. And, well, actually, for them, it was WrestleMania and Philly that got them back in.
Oh, because of The Rock, of course.
But,
The Rock being involved in professional wrestling is better than The Rock not being involved in professional wrestling. The thing is that, I'm going to let you say it, but I'll just say this. If The Rock were to commit and actually show up when he's supposed to, it would make things a lot better. But then I understand why he doesn't, because he's a busy actor. He's an actor. He's a producer. Like,
exactly.
Wrestling, I'm sure, matters to him, but it's not his.
It's not the end all be all.
It's not the end all be all anymore like it used to.
I'm just gonna throw this out here. Out of wrestlers turned actors, Dave Bautista is the best one. I'll forever stand on that.
He's up there.
I
think John Cena's making a case for himself, but Dave Bautista.
Oh yeah, but Dave,
as the talent perspective,
Dave Bautista has range.
Yes,
that's what everybody else lacks. And Dave Bautista,
Cena's getting
there, but it's like, let's be real here. Most of his roles are to be funny.
Sure, The Rock had range at the beginning. When you go all the way back to like if you watch, do you remember the movie Be Cool?
Yeah.
Like, he was willing to go ahead, not make a fool out of himself, but he was willing to go ahead and step out of his complete range.
That's
he
fair.
Plays for the love of God, he plays a gay bodyguard or whatever it is.
True.
That's trying to become an actor in Hollywood, which is hilarious.
True.
It's the character's hilarious, not the story. Excuse me. Want to be politically correct when I say that, but like, he's very funny in that role. And then when you watch Walking Tall, which is it's an action, but there's a little bit more dramatics to it and whatnot. As he went along and progressed, he obviously got stuck in the niche that he's in now. Yeah. I'm very looking forward to what he does when he teams up with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio in a year with the movie that they're going to do. But he has chosen not to show his range when he clearly has the range. You watch the movie Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
He's actually funnier than Kevin Hart.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? In the movie.
So, yeah. No, fair point. But, you know, going back to the product feels lackluster. Yeah. Like, trust me, I get it, because I tell, like, here's my gripe with so-called wrestling fans. They're just WWE stands.
That's not entirely incorrect. That's actually very correct.
So I say that because, like, me, I try to sit there and at least pay enough attention to, you know, the big leagues of wrestling in general. You know, from your WWEs to your AEWs, kind of TNA, but let's be real, TNA was better like 2010s.
It's gotten better, but I see what I know where you're coming from.
And then, you know, obviously New Japan.
Sure.
Because, and I'm probably going to butcher her name, so I apologize, but I tried asking somebody, "Oh, do you even know who Saya Kimatani is?" And they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Dude, she is like probably the best women's wrestler right now." Keep in mind, I'm a big Io Shirai fan. Yes, I said Io Shirai. I'm not calling her Io Sky. I'm just gonna say that now.
That's fair.
I've been a big Io Shirai fan.
Io's
Back when
legit.
I first saw Io Shirai in Lucha Underground for that one match that she had against Penta.
Sure.
That's what I knew. I'm like, that very well might be one of the best female wrestlers, period. Actually, I say in WWE alone, she is one of the best wrestlers.
She's one of the top performers in the entire company, regardless of gender.
Like Unreal. Now, keep in mind, I don't watch Unreal. Yeah. I think it's stupid.
A lot of people
breaks
think
kayfabe.
A little bit too much.
Yes. But I felt Triple H 100% what he said. If I had to restart everything, give me Io Sky.
She's special.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When she was down in NXT, before she got called up, it was like there's a lot of people down in that
which I got a hot take with.
Go for it.
NXT. No, let me let you finish.
No, I was just gonna say, like, she was special in NXT.
Oh, yeah.
And to go ahead and classify her as special when the amount of specialness that's come out of NXT to the main roster has been like truly next level.
Yes.
And yet it's not the fact that she stands head and shoulders above the rest, but she sticks out.
Like, there's levels.
There's levels. And Io's on a level that not too many people are on. I don't think she's the best individual to come out of NXT, but if somebody were to tell me, no, Io's the best product to come out of NXT in its inception, I'd be like, okay, I like it. I'm not going to agree with you because I think that there's others, but I like it.
I think she's up there.
She's up there, no doubt.
My take with NXT is, I think right now, current landscape of WWE as a whole, NXT is miles above everything else.
Really?
It's strictly in WWE.
Oh,
because I love what Shawn Michaels is doing down there.
I think he gets it.
Yeah, but also too, I always tell people, NXT is WWE for black people. I know that's a crazy take, but because you see like the
Trick,
spicy,
DeVante, Carmelo.
Not even that. No, it's not even about the characters.
Even though they weren't even there anymore. They're not even
there
there anymore.
It's not even about that. It's just like you kind of see the spiciness.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm like, that's what tells me. I'm like, because I'm like,
that's it. I'm gonna let that marinate for 1 second. We'll come back to that. That's an interesting take.
Know,
it's an interesting take. Like I'm like, I'm trying to see what I think I see what you mean.
But I'm like, I was sitting there, I'm like, man, like HBK, like,
yeah, he got a little season.
I'm like, you been hanging out in Atlanta lately? Yes, like, hold on.
He's in Tampa, or he's in where are they? In Orlando? Or
I
Tampa?
think Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. But
still,
though, it's like, because I started noticing it when you had that NXT 2.0 era for a second. Yeah. Trash, by the way, but I'm glad
it's better than people understand. It's better than people remember. But at the time, after coming out of the black and gold, it was real tough to be like, what the hell are we doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it switched very quickly.
Well, it was nice to go ahead and see them balance it and put everything together.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. But I started noticing it then because people's characters were kind of like, like, all right, like, this ain't regular WWE. Like, there's something about this. Like, it's spicy.
Well, it was when Triple H was in charge and he was doing black and gold. I always looked at it. It was the indies, but with the massive budget.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because I say NXT
indies means independent circuit for anybody who's not in tune. By the way,
I say NXT has the best in-ring product out of all of WWE.
Oh yes, out of probably. It's been like that for a while.
We can debate this.
No, you're right. You're right. There's a lot of slop going on the main roster, which shouldn't be happening.
Yes. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I feel out of the big three, just in North America alone, AEW has the best in ring.
For the most part,
Period.
I would. For the most part, I would
Like when they were
Yeah.
trying to do the whole Wednesday Night Wars or Tuesday, whatever they were doing with AEW versus NXT.
It was the Wednesday Night Wars.
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I felt that was the perfect way to do it because
It
NXT
was.
is the only one that could
But
have actually
they were
competed.
throwing blows at each other and triple. I mean, for as much as you can say that, I actually really enjoyed that time period of NXT.
Oh,
but
amen.
Tony Khan and the AEW locker room really, they made Triple H and the NXT crew
It pushed
tuck
them.
their tails in between their legs.
Yes.
And they did like for a while the gap wasn't that big.
Yeah.
And honestly, it never got too big, but it got big enough.
Oh yeah.
It got big enough. Like, I mean,
Because
they were doing 800,000 and then
Oh, yeah.
NXT would be doing 700, and it was like,
I'll still forever stand on that war is the only reason why Finn Balor went back down.
that war is the only reason why Adam Cole never really got called up.
That too.
You know,
They had to keep.
they
something.
had to keep him.
and keep him. Oh,
They brought
actually,
Tommaso Ciampa back down. They
Yep.
brought back Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
Or they never shot him back up.
Yep. Actually, another point that I want to bring up with NXT, that three-way Survivor Series is hands down the greatest Survivor Series of all time.
Which one are you talking about?
When it was, so remember they got stuck in Saudi Arabia, the main roster, so they had to pivot,
Yeah.
and that's when they called up all of NXT to do that. NXT versus Raw
So
versus
you talking about
SmackDown.
2019? Are you talking about
Yes.
Keith Lee power bombing the ever living hell out of Roman Reigns, and Roman
Yes.
Reigns having one of the greatest 2.5 count kick outs you've ever seen in your life? Talk about that one?
Yes,
Slightly a banger.
that was the
It's
greatest
ridiculous.
Survivor Series of all time, and I hate
As a
they
pay per
haven't
view, or are you
done
talking
it.
about the best Survivor Series match ever?
As a pay per view?
It's up there.
That whole period.
If I'm not
actually.
mistaken, that main event wasn't it Becky versus Bayley versus Shayna Baszler?
I think-
That was the main event. Yeah,
Yeah, I believe
that hit
so.
like crack.
But just that whole period of building up to it
Sure.
and the pay per view, perfect.
It was good.
But also too, my other gripes with NXT, how many people they fumbled at the same time.
Oh, so many,
Like, bro,
so many.
Swerve Strickland is the biggest one. How do you fumble that?
Swerve is a big one.
Now, I will say this. I'm glad it happened because we wouldn't have the Swerve that we have now.
Right, Swerve in AEW is absolutely like
Mm-hmm.
incredible. But there's some fumbles.
So I think her name is Sarai, Japanese wrestler, was said to be one of the best to come out of Japanese wrestling. Fumbled her.
Yeah. They fumbled Scarlett Bordeaux, even though she was carrying
Yeah,
Cross.
but even though she doesn't even really wrestle.
No,
like, you
but
couldn't-
she used to.
Yes.
And like you mentioned Io Shirai having that match in Lucha Underground and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Scarlett Bordeaux was out here going ahead and doing Canadian destroyers on the bitches.
Yeah.
Wow, sorry, excuse me. Canadian destroyers on the ladies. Yeah. Canadian destroyers on the people and stuff like that. She was out here having matches with dudes, getting the hell beaten out of her, but then she was beating the hell out of dudes and stuff like that. Scarlett Bordeaux is a badass gal. Like a badass. And to me, they fumbled her in NXT by only having her be her who are now husband's side piece, not side piece, but her valet, his valet.
We're gonna call it side piece.
Well,
We're
they're
gonna
not
call it what
it's
it
valet.
is.
No, it was his valet. That's what it was, and they are married, by the way.
Yes, of course, of course.
They fumbled her.
They kind of fumbled Keith Lee a little bit, but that was more on the main.
The main roster. The main roster.
I just don't like how quickly they took the NXT World Title off of him.
Oh, because they wanted to go ahead and shoot him up.
Yeah, I hate that though.
I know, but that's
it
the
is
problem.
what it is.
Yeah, it took. It shocked me how much longer in NXT Oba Femi stayed.
I felt well actually, and I'll say this take for when we get to WrestleMania, which we'll probably pivot to here shortly. But no, I mean, I think it's just fair to say there's been a lot of people that have benefited from NXT. There's been a lot of fumbles. There's people till this day I feel like should go back down. Like, I'm sorry, Javon Evans should not have been called up because he's so. And here's why.
Yeah.
they've already admitted they don't see him as a top guy.
Who said that?
I forget who.
I would love to know the name of that.
I know, because it's
I'll
like
send
it's
a letter to Sanford, Connecticut right now.
I believe it was Road Dogg, but
There's a reason why Road Dogg doesn't work for that company anymore.
exactly. Road Dogg is an idiot. I'll forever stand by that.
Road Dogg has done some good things for the company as a producer and stuff like that. To have that particular take about
Yeah.
Javon Evans, like
I could very well be wrong.
I
He said it, but
yeah.
if I had to guess, it was probably it. But here's the thing: I only think he should have stayed there longer because the dude's not barely 21.
he just turned 21.
Yeah, he's got a long time.
Yeah,
But
here's-
plus, I know exactly where you're about to get at. I felt keep him in there for one, maybe at most 2 more years.
he could have
Give him
benefited
the world
from
title.
actually winning the NXT title.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you call him up.
Yeah.
But
Did he ever win the North American title?
I don't think he won
Any titles, right?
If I'm not
That's a choice.
mistaken.
For as good as he was, to want to call him up that quickly but not give him a championship of any sort down in NXT is a very odd thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because think about it like this. Look at Lola Vice.
Lola Vice is interesting because she actually used to fight fight mixed martial arts. If anybody remembers, the reason why Lola Vice even went viral to begin with is she was that gal that knocked this chick out.
Oh yeah,
And then started twerking in the middle of the octagon, which is hilarious, but mad disrespectful, but hilarious
funny,
simultaneously. I was like, this chick, she could back it up. She backed it up. She knocked that gal. Oh my God, she messed her up.
Oh yeah.
So Lola Vice is very good in ring. And by the way, let it be known right now that just because you have a mixed martial arts professional fighter background doesn't always necessarily mean that
it's gonna
translate. It has in the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's not always the case. I think the two biggest individuals that were very good at that transition, and not sure this individual necessarily counts because he started as a professional wrestler first, but the first person I always think of is obviously Brock Lesnar. But he started as a wrestler first before going to MMA and then coming back.
Okay, so
so he doesn't really count, but he counts.
I got a take with that too, though.
Yeah. What?
But keep going.
Well, Shayna Baszler to me is the one.
Yes, 100%.
You know, like I don't care what anybody says.
Like
Ronda started off really good. I've never seen anyone regress harder than Ronda.
Look, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Ronda is terrible.
But she wasn't though. That's the thing. She wasn't, because you look, and now that just tells you that WrestleMania 34 match, that tag team match, that just tells you Triple H knows how to put on a match.
Oh yeah.
Because Kurt Angle couldn't even move. Barely, because his neck was so messed up. He was incredible still in that match, but he really couldn't do much. And then Steph's not a wrestler. I mean, shout out to Stephanie though, because she went ahead and was amazing and sold like hell.
I mean, keep in mind, I have my even opinions on Triple H's in-ring, but I still don't fully knock him. He's a phenomenal talent.
I've been a big Triple H fan for a long time.
That's fair.
Do I like what's going on right now in creative?
No. Not at all.
There's a lot I could say about that.
Oh, Charles, you know how many times I've sat there and said,
But I also think that I wonder if he's being sabotaged.
That's what I feel like.
That's
too.
the question. That's a question.
We're going to pivot into that.
You want to?
Actually,
Okay, go ahead.
Because, look, you know how many times I've sat there and just talked with guys like you, guys and girls that are also into wrestling. I'm like,
not very many.
Dog, like, you know how many storylines we've just sat there and came up with that are better than
bro, I'm
what's
like,
going on right
the
now?
stuff that I've come up with, I'm like, how do I not have a job?
Exactly.
How do I not have a job as a producer?
Yeah, actually, I make this joke to people all the time. I tell them, you know why they still create a story out of the games? Because people were making way better stories. But, it's like, tell me I'm wrong. Convince me I'm wrong. Right. Because the way I see it with creative, and your take about Triple H being sabotaged, look, the TKO merger is the worst thing that could have happened.
We say that now. At the beginning, it wasn't.
Exactly.
But it's
just gotten worse and worse.
Gotten
because look, ticket prices are at an all-time high. They priced out the average fan.
Yeah.
Like,
They not just out of live events. Dude, I'm not watching WrestleMania this year. I'm not paying $30 a month to have the ESPN thing. That's a lot. I don't have cable, so I'd have to get the ESPN app. It's $30 a month, DeVante. Kick rocks, homie.
So,
okay. But even if you did, I'm not. There's so many things that they have done to get me to this point where I actually don't want to watch WrestleMania this year.
that's fair.
Which is saying a lot because my favorite wrestler is in the main event. Like, my favorite wrestler is in the main event. And I still don't want to watch this show.
You know, and like I talked about on the Trend episode, how I felt it's going to be lackluster. I'm really only excited for at most 4 matches on that entire card.
That's more
obviously the main event with Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. The ladder match for the Intercontinental.
Who wouldn't be excited for a ladder match?
Exactly. And Obafemi Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know, the real quick wrap up with Triple H potentially being sabotaged.
Yeah.
I believe it was Billy Gunn. I saw a tweet where he said, you know, he's heard things that like they're trying to get rid of Triple H, like push him, or excuse me, Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, but honestly, if I was Paul Levesque and I got fired, the first thing I'm doing is hitting up Tony Khan.
But
squashing it.
I mean, Triple H is down to squash beef.
Exactly.
I know he is, because obviously we've seen him do it. Squashed it with Cody Rhodes. He squashed it with CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
Who would have thought that was ever gonna happen?
One where it's like,
yeah.
huh.
Dude, I'm telling you, when CM Punk showed up in Chicago to end Survivor Series in 2023, when I tell you I cried. And mind you, I cried when he showed up in AEW 2 years prior. You know what I mean? I'm a CM Punk guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's my boy. I like the voice of the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Charles Montgomery Punk. That's my guy. And so when he returned, I was like,
let me tell you,
I'm living a better life, bro.
That pipe bomb that he dropped.
What the first one? Well, the first one's incredible. It's impeccable. But this one from this week. Hey, yo. Chef's kiss, bro.
Like, dude, look.
Yeah.
I will 100% say the build-up between him versus Roman has probably been the best build-up for the entire card.
Aside from Oba and Brock, yes, I will give you that.
Well, here's the thing, though, because I've been saying, and that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Look, if they mess this up, I very well might not watch WWE ever again.
It's hard.
Excluding NXT.
Sure.
I'll watch NXT all day. But here's the thing. You have to let Obafemi run through Brock Lesnar. That's the only way you do this right.
You got to let him win.
I feel like no.
You want to squash Brock Lesnar?
You have to. Because the way I see it, you need to set the tone. This is our next Brock Lesnar type guy.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, he should have never lost the NXT title to anybody. That was stupid. They should have just did what he did the second time, where he won it, dropped it, disappeared.
Yeah, but they've done that with too many people.
No, but here's the thing. He has the look where it's believable.
No, very much so.
And with him, how the feud between him and Brock Lesnar has been building, I've been invested because I can believe this.
Yeah. If there's ever one dude that you could be like, oh man, that's one dude who's damn.
So
there's like there's two dudes on the main roster right now. 2 dudes. You know exactly who the second person is that can absolutely go toe to toe in terms of size and intimidation factor with Brock Lesnar. Obafemi's one, and you know who the second person is. And it's the guy who's probably going to face him in a few months in SummerSlam. It's Gunther. It's the only other guy. Those are the 2 dudes.
All right, I'll give you Gunther.
Especially with the way that they've built Gunther up until this point.
Because I'm not gonna lie,
he retired AJ and John Cena within 2 months.
If you would have said, instead of Gunther, Braun Breaker, I actually would not have even questioned it.
Oh, I mean, sure, Braun Breaker too, but like Gunther's like
Yeah, he's
legit,
got the size.
Like,
yeah.
well, it's not more than just the size. Like Gunther is just
Oh, yeah.
amazing in ring. But
Technical expert.
like, yeah, I mean,
and a bruiser.
and a bruiser, bro, and
But
he's great.
Here's the thing, though. I say you had to let Obafemi run through Brock
Sure.
Lesnar.
By the way, I'd like to make clear. I think he should win. But
I know what
you
you're
know what I
saying.
mean.
I know what you're saying.
I'd like to clarify that.
That's more for them.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I just feel he has to run through him because it sets the perfect tone. Like, this is going to be our destroyer,
Sure.
basically, for the next however long.
10 years. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, I've said, you cannot fumble these because if you just make Obafemi lose, you did all this for nothing, in my opinion.
Sure.
It's pointless. I don't care how Brock feels. I know Brock doesn't like to lose.
Yeah, but Brock Lesnar. Listen, I have a lot of thoughts on Brock Lesnar. I don't like Brock Edward Lesnar in the sense that he's kind of a weirdo. He's in those. He was in the reports. He's the case. I'm not gonna get into that, but like I read some of that stuff, and I'm just like, you a little freak, bruh.
Yeah,
a little freaky.
Not
Like I'm talking about like no Diddy type freak. You know what I mean? So like, okay, it's none of my business, but I'm just like, I look at him funny.
Yeah.
I look at him funny. But I think Brock Lesnar. I've been a fan of Brock Lesnar from a wrestling standpoint for such a long time. I feel bad for anybody who's watching this podcast because they're like, wow, they're really running deep. Yes, we did, but trust me, we'll get back to it. Cheers. Well, we'll pull a you. Hold on. Little throwback. You guys know that DeVante wants to do OnlyFans. Hey, yo.
Hey, chill out. That's all if all else fails.
But anyways, I've been a fan of Brock Lesnar for a long time, and especially during the second run, you can tell when he's willing to put people over. He did it with Daniel Bryan. He did it with AJ Styles. Even though he won, he was making him look really, really good, right? Seth Rollins, a variety of different individuals. Roman Reigns even.
Oh yeah.
You go back to 2013, he absolutely was down to almost make CM Punk win and whatnot. So like Brock has a tendency to know who and when to put people over. Drew McIntyre even. I think the way that he's wanting to go ahead, the way that he's been portraying himself right now, he seems to be like, I'm down to put over Oba. He looks like it. So I don't think it's in no way, shape, or form will I doubt that Brock is down to go ahead and take the 3-count pin.
I will say this though. I just kind of wish he'd do more talking. Remember that feud that he had with Bobby Lashley?
He was incredible.
Like when he's like, man,
when he left, when him and Paul got split up.
Oh yeah,
he was great as a babyface.
Like,
yeah. I love that. Cowboy Brock
cracked me up where he's like, I'm at work thinking about Bobby. I'm hanging out with my kids thinking about Bobby. I finished up with my wife. I'm thinking about Bobby. Dog, I was crying. Like I was over here crying because I'm like, I kind of forget how funny he actually
Brock's
can
funny.
be. Yeah.
Brock can be funny and whatnot. And,
he's
he's more charismatic than people think. He was very hella funny on Pat McAfee's show like a couple years ago and stuff like that. He's very, very, very funny.
Amen.
And I don't think that he gets a lot of credit for that. But he also, Brock can sometimes be really, really not lazy, but Brock doesn't like to go ahead and put in too much effort if he's not into it. I've always had this thing as a professional wrestling fan that anytime Brock's motivated, when Brock's motivated.
Oh yeah.
When Randy Orton's motivated.
Actually, what they fumbled with Brock Lesnar? When Samoa Joe was still in the cover.
100%.
Because that promo where he told him, hey, listen to your advocate. He's protecting you from me. And I said this on your pod. Samoa Joe is one of them few dudes.
He's one of them boys.
I feel like lightweight, everybody is kind of scared of.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize this because he looks very out of shape.
But he's a killer.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
And I truly believe he would try to fight anybody.
Oh, not only will he try to fight, he will absolutely probably win almost every single time.
So,
like legit as a shoot fighter, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
that's someone I would not put my money against.
But, to to talk about that main event. Actually, before we get to that main event,
What's up?
I have one more gripe. Two of the matches.
Okay.
Look, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. Just give Rhea Ripley the title.
It's not even that. They just kind of like
threw it together out of the blue.
I don't know. I think they had a plan. It's just the execution has been real crap.
But also too though, like Jade Cargill, I feel like they rushed her to the world title too quickly because she still needs to work in ring a bit more. Like she's not bad, but like you can see.
When did she debut? What year? When did she come back to WWE? Or when did she come to WWE? Was it 2023 or was it 24?
24, late 24, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think she got hurt last year and then came back.
She did, but wasn't she?
She was in AEW before.
She was. No, she was at WrestleMania 40. She was at WrestleMania 40. Didn't she?
Right.
She teamed up with Bianca with Naomi.
Right.
Here's the thing. They gave her a pretty big fat contract.
Yes.
And they probably viewed her time in AEW as the time for her to progress.
Right.
So I can understand why they would go ahead and rush her into this. That being said, I have to admit, I can understand why they're like, hey, it's either sink or swim. Right. At some point, it's like, you didn't not ever wrestle. Like, you were getting better in AEW, but it's not like Ronda where like it's not like Ronda where she regressed, right. But it's she's hit a ceiling, and she needs to break said ceiling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Touche.
But I'm with you. It's been relatively lackluster. Stephanie Vaquer versus
that's the other
Liv
one.
Morgan has been should be better.
Look, dude, I'm going to be very upfront when I say this. If Liv Morgan wins, I might crash out. You might get a text. Yeah, I'm about to lose it right now. And it's only because I have slight gripes with Liv Morgan. Yeah. I do feel like she's a bit overrated at times. But in terms of how she portrays her character, I absolutely love it.
Sure.
It's just, if you take the title off Stephanie, it kind of shows me you didn't know what to do. Because I look at some of these matches like, okay, could I really believe this person beating this person?
Yeah.
Like, just straight up, like nobody gets involved or anything. That's how I view it sometimes.
Right.
Now, yes, I understand. That sounds a little crazy when we're talking about something
but
is fake.
There has to be a sense of realism. There's like the thing about professional wrestling viewers and audio listeners is there does have to be a certain level of realism when it comes to this sport, if you will. There has to be. And what he's describing is Liv Morgan, who is quite a fine wrestler. Yes. She's gotten a lot better. I've been 100%. I've been a big Liv Morgan fan for a long time.
She's gotten way better.
Way better. Shout out to the Riot Squad.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Man.
Sarah Logan.
They kind of botched that.
Ruby Riott. My girl Ruby Riott.
Oh yeah.
And so Liv Morgan was obviously the weakest link with that group, and she grew into something a lot better and whatnot. But like, if you're a big professional wrestling fan and you do watch WWE, Stephanie Vaquer is head and shoulders above her in terms of talent in the ring.
I mean, that match between her and Julia,
banger, absolute banger. Her and Io,
banger. Hey, look, shame is banger after banger after banger.
Shout out to Booker T. Shout out to Booker T.
Oh,
absolutely crashes out on commentary every single time she's in the ring. It's like my brother in Christ. You go home to Queen Charmel every
he
night.
Said though she loves it.
That don't count for a damn thing, DeVante. You know that, brother.
Look. He said himself.
Listen.
Look. Yeah. Queen Charmel loves that he gives the women so much spotlight.
Oh, I'm down with it.
And also, he's not sleeping on the couch. So,
if y'all saw Stephanie Vaquer, y'all would understand the conversation right now. With all due respect.
He did the
hey, yo.
I'm like, dog.
Hey, yo, bro.
I'm
Like,
now I understood completely, but I'm like, hey, you need to chill.
chill out, bro. Chill out.
But I'll just say, bro. Now, to the main event.
Yeah.
Look.
We just basically previewed WrestleMania right now.
Hey, look.
I love that. I love this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we do here on the Mackism Effect. I'm very excited for CM Punk, Roman Reigns, because, like I said earlier, it's probably been the best build out of all the matches.
That's saying a lot because they almost screwed it up by focusing on Roman just calling him old. Like that's the build around this. So we're just gonna go ahead and say that he sucks because he's old. Trash.
Oh yeah.
But it has been the best build, especially when you add in the fact with the promo that he just cut on Monday night. Yeah.
But even then though, like him told him, like I started seeing it when the Usos were out there, and then Roman came in, and Roman tells him to leave. And then CM Punk threw that quick jab, like, nah, you better stay. He needs all the help he can get.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, it's starting.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. I'm like, yep, there it is. Yep. But, one thing I knew for certain is you got A, a generational talent in Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
B, you have arguably one of the best to ever do it on the mic in CM Punk.
And in the ring, too. He's older now, sure. But he's still...
True, but more so focusing on his mic skills.
Sure, of course. I mean,
yeah.
Not a lot of people who are better on the stick than he is.
Oh, yeah. So, no Diddy.
Oh, yeah. Pause. Excuse me.
No Diddy.
Yeah,
no Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy. On the mic. On the mic.
To.
100%. Yeah, no.
But,
cheers.
Yeah, amen.
Cheers.
Amen. But, I knew these two were going to put on something special.
Well, yeah, especially after last year's triple threat with Seth, of course.
Now, do I think... Who do I feel like I want to win more? I really want CM Punk to win. And it's only just because I feel like it kind of sets a good tone in the sense of, like, look, Roman is probably our top guy
Of this generation?
but he doesn't always have to get it done in WrestleMania. But, and also, just for storyline purposes, maybe CM Punk was right. He can't do it on his own. He's gotten to a point to where he needs the help and he needs to find himself again. I would love to see them go that angle.
Yeah. So, I want Punky to retain, too. I'd like to be clear about that. I think from the perspective of having a champion on your show almost every week, that's kind of nice, right? Listen, dude, we lived through it with Brock Lesnar, and we lived through it again through Roman Reigns, whom I love, but we lived through it for 3 years. 3 freaking years.
He turned into the thing that he claimed to hate.
You know what I mean? He did. And I hate to say it, but he did. The thing is, and again, I want him to retain, but I also know that the way I'm not a pessimist, but I'm also not stupid. And I recognize how this machine works. We've come to recognize and come to understand how this machine works, whether it's Triple H and creative, whether it's TKO, whether it's ESPN wanting whatever they want because of the rating spike. By the way, Netflix also has a stake in all of this too, right? As big a star as CM Punk is, boy howdy is he a pretty big star. Roman's a little bit bigger. Not a little bit, he's quite a bit bigger. And the way that they are probably looking at it as, not only is it putting the title back on him, but additionally, one of the things that I've talked about with a friend of mine who used to go ahead and co-host a podcast with me about wrestling is what comes next?
Yep.
So the question is, if Punk retains, what's next for Punk? Who comes next? Not even Roman Reigns can beat CM Punk? Okay, well, who comes next? And also, when he beats CM Punk, will that person be made the big top star that the company wants him to be? when you beat Roman Reigns, that means a whole different. That's a whole different description.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So
the landscape is changing.
landscape changes. You mentioned Braun Breaker earlier in the conversation,
Mhm.
right? Braun Breaker, if he beats CM Punk,
Oh, that's the
Well-
guy.
huge, right?
Yeah.
Makes him a made man. If he beats Roman Reigns, it's a
Oh, yeah,
whole
that says
different
a
story.
lot.
Whole different
Crazy,
story.
no, I didn't
Yeah.
know me and Braun Breaker were the same age. That threw me. Actually,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm older than Braun
Oh, yeah,
Breaker,
he's like 27 or 28.
which threw me
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Cause
yeah.
like, bro, you look like you're in your mid-30s.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Steiner
He's
G
got
is strong.
That's, I mean,
I mean,
Steiner
we know
math,
that,
baby.
Hey,
you know?
oh, dude, look.
Yeah.
What do you say? Man, both of y'all are 47. You're 100 together. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And so, but like, I think we have to look at that. We
Oh,
have to
yeah,
look
yeah.
at it in the sense of whoever you're going to make next has to beat somebody who is enormous.
Amen.
When Cody beat Roman, that was,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
changed everything.
Cody's untouchable now, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Cody can do no wrong,
Finish
basically.
the story.
He finished the story,
Yeah, I
right?
do feel like they should
And
did a
so
double
whoever
flip.
you're gonna go ahead and pit against Roman, or if it's CM
Amen.
Punk, you got to figure out how that's gonna go ahead and validate that next person that's going to beat them. And so,
Amen.
but
But
do I think for the betterment of the company, the person who should keep the championship should be someone who's on TV more often? Yes, I do.
oh yeah, we're in agreement there.
And additionally, like, Punk has been incredible. He's been like, it's one thing for me to go ahead and sit here and say, oh, well, it's got to be somebody who's there every week. You could be there every week and absolute stink up the joint.
yes.
The CM Punk is quite the opposite of stinking up the joint.
Yeah.
He's been the best overall performer this company has had over the past 7 months.
Yep.
Nobody comes close. Cody doesn't come close. Rollins doesn't come close. Randy doesn't come close. Brock and Oba don't come close.
Oh yeah.
Nobody in the women's roster except with maybe a couple of people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Becky doesn't even come close. Like, Punk is here and
Oh, yeah.
everybody else is below him.
Amen.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, we see him Punk guy.
I'm a CM Punk guy.
Yeah.
I'm a CM Punk guy.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna pivot. Final segment.
Okay.
Where I told you get to ask me questions. So I ask you this question before you begin.
What's up?
What do you want to talk about?
Hey! Is it, what is it?
I gave you 10.
Yeah.
Because I knew
That's a lot.
you're a fellow podcaster,
It's
so
a
I
lot.
knew you'd have some for me.
I got a few.
All right, what you
questions.
got?
I was thinking about this last few weeks because I listened to the show. I watched the show. I try to watch the show, but
appreciate
I definitely listen more.
I appreciate that.
I think before I actually go ahead and ask you anything, I want to go ahead and commend you because I think you did a phenomenal show. And I'm not just saying this because you guys have made me nearly cry, but you did a phenomenal job with Mari and the other young lady that works with her at Part Score. What was her name again?
Oh, Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Very lovely gal. Both were a great guest. And that was phenomenal. Gio sat in this chair. Shout out to Giovanni. You did a great interview with him too. So I wanted to go ahead and commend you on those two particular episodes because they were really, really well done.
Appreciate that.
What's a pet peeve of yours, bro? I got a couple pet peeves.
Yeah, I did. I got a lot actually. I was supposed to do a whole episode with somebody talking about just pet peeves in general. No, because, or I guess you could say hot takes.
Okay. Well, a pet peeve and a hot take, two different things.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair, but
Yeah.
I kind of consider them the same.
They
because of,
can
like,
be.
Yeah,
Sure.
at times.
Okay.
Dang, you're really. Hold on, I gotta read this list real quick because, like, there's a couple I could say.
You looking up a list of pet peeves?
No, I have like a list.
You have a list that you've written it out? That's smart.
No,
okay.
because this was going to be an episode.
All right, fair enough.
I still might do
You
it, but I'm gonna
should.
take.
I didn't
one
mean to go ahead and
from
take the
it.
thunder.
No,
but I had to
no,
ask.
it's totally okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so pet peeve I have, and I'll steal this from this list. Social justice warriors.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me explain.
Okay. I think I know where you're going with this, and you're not going to probably be wrong.
Yeah, so me and you,
Yeah.
we're minorities.
Uh-huh.
We deal with certain things that not everybody's going to understand. Some may try to get it, but they can only understand to a degree.
Sure.
Don't care about what, let's say, me and you will go through just to make yourself seem like a good person. That's a pet peeve of mine, because it's like, okay, do you genuinely care, or are you just trying to
get clout?
yourself?
Yeah.
Or portray yourself as a good person.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, I'd much rather you just be honest.
Sure.
Just tell me you don't care or you don't get it.
Sure.
I'd much rather you just tell me that. So that way I know how you move.
Right.
And keep in mind, that's not even me trying to get the idea you're a bad person. I'm
Sure.
not saying that at all.
Well, like, I don't want pity.
Exactly.
I don't want pity.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yes.
If somebody were to go ahead and hire me for to do a show for them at some point, which would be amazing.
Yes.
I would like for them to go ahead and hire me because of my skills. Because what I bring to the camera, what I bring to the mic.
Okay.
I don't want them to go ahead.
You don't want to be
Actually,
the
you know what?
DEI hire.
No, hold on. Definitely not. But hear me out for 1 second, because you
Okay.
you remember what I'm talking. You remember I had my boy Vince McClinton on the
Yes.
podcast a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and you shot me a message, and I figured we might bring this up. And this might kind of goes into this for 1 second. I don't want to go ahead and be hired based on the color of my skin.
Yes.
I want to be hired for what I bring to the table. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and say, seeing a person that looks like me or someone that looks like you doesn't have a positive effect on those individuals.
Amen.
Lewis Hamilton has an enormous positive effect on tons of black kids all over the world. You know what I mean?
I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
That is
Leah Block has an enormous.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I tell people all the time. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton will always be my favorite F1 driver, because for me, growing up as the only black kid that was into racing,
sure,
that was cool for me to see, because it told me, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
Like, I can see somebody that looks like me doing this.
Okay.
So that's why it means so much to me to see what he does.
Same. I wouldn't listen. Did I know of Michael Schumacher as a kid growing up? Of course I did.
Of course.
Who doesn't? But the reason why I really started following Formula One the way that I did was because of Lewis. Was because of his swag. Was because of his class. It was because of what he represented. What he, I love Lewis Hamilton more than just the driver. I love Lewis Hamilton, the humanitarian. You know what I mean? And so, seeing someone that looks like me on camera, I would hope that I give, if not just for my sons, but anybody else who's out there. Like, that's why I talked about it with Vince. I'm like, if somebody's going to go ahead and see me and I go ahead and give you some type of like positivity, regardless of whether or not because I said something cool, because I said something right, most importantly, right, not just cool. But if they're seeing me and they don't see someone who looks like me, or someone sees you, or someone sees someone like Jay, or a girl sees someone like, all the gals that we know within the space,
right,
and they get motivated and hyped because of that, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thing. So yes, these social justice warriors, I appreciate them for what they're trying to do, but we also have to keep it real. But at the same time, there are aspects out there of like, things matter.
Right.
Visuals matter.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right.
So.
Amen.
So.
All right. That's number one for you.
For
what
sure.
You
And
got?
by the way, some pet peeves, real quick.
All right.
Nah, I was told not to say it, so I'm not.
We'll talk off camera.
We'll talk off camera. Just don't be full of shit, bro.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? That's a pet peeve of mine. Don't be full of it.
I respect that. I respect that.
Genuinely.
I respect that.
Second question.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Should we break down, like, I know why you and I both have our beef with Hulk Hogan. Should we just straight up break it down?
Why did I know you were gonna bring this up?
Because we talked about it last.
No, even before, I'm like, I know Hulk Hogan is gonna get brought up.
Well, because I want people to understand. Because, like, here's the thing: when he passed, God rest his soul. People like messaged me because they all know that I'm a wrestling fan. They were like, "Oh, so sad." Like, Hulk Hogan. I was like, "Yeah, it's sad. It's unfortunate." Like, I have my beef with him, but, like, it is what it is. Like, may rest peace. And people would look at me or they talk to me and be like, "Why do you have beef with him? Like, what did he do?" And I'd be like, "Bro, really?" And then they think, and the problem was, and I'm just gonna say this, they thought that my beef with him was because he's super MAGA, and I was like, I can't even begin to explain to you that is the last thing that's my beef with him. That's not it. Do I like his opinions on politics? No, I didn't. I didn't. Him and I did not see the same way. But that was the least of my concerns because Triple H, we just mentioned, dude shows up to Mar-a-Lago all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's taking pictures with President Trump and stuff like that. Do I agree with him? No. Am I still considered myself a fan of Triple H? Yeah. I like Triple H. The Undertaker is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. He had President Trump on his podcast. I don't have a beef with him in any way, shape, or form. And I remember one of Hulk Hogan's last appearances on Raw, which was the Netflix premiere. He got booed out of the building in Los Angeles. And people were saying, the reason he got booed is because he showed up to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is a blue town. I'm like, that's not the reason why he got booed out of the building. Because that same night, The Undertaker was in that same building, and he got one of the biggest pops of that night.
Exactly.
You watched it live, I watched it live.
Exactly. Before you continue.
Sure.
I need people to understand this. Not everything it has politics involved in it.
Correct.
Like, people's opinions I'm speaking on. Because, like Jorge just brought up, two totally different things here. And look, let's just call it what it is.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Terry Bollea was racist. We're just gonna say it.
Terry Bollea was a racist.
Now, I'll say it like this. You probably handled it better than I did when he died, because I straight up told somebody, hey, look, man, appreciate what he did for the business, but to a degree, even at that, but rest in piss. I could care less at this point.
I didn't go that far.
Look, I know. But that's where I left it, because at the end of the day, trust me, there has been plenty of people I don't like that have passed. I may have made one comment and I left it at that because they're already dead. What is me continuing to speak on them going to do for me?
No, because you want to still remember them for the good things that they did and stuff like that. And I can't sit here and lie to people.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Sure, not everybody. But, like, I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and pretend like I'm not a professional wrestling fan and not going to go ahead and give credence to what Hulk Hogan did to the professional wrestling business. That would be stupid and ignorant of me.
I'm also going to tell you what he did bad.
Yes.
And
it stretches beyond his racial comments and his badly racial comments that some people aren't aware that he made. And I have to go ahead and present to them. It's like, hey, listen, this is what he said. But additionally, on top of that, what he did good for wrestling and what he did bad for professional wrestling. And that's where my big beef lies.
I told somebody, I bet you didn't know he almost got Undertaker fired. They looked at me so shocked. I'm like, you think those two were cool too.
He screwed over Bret Hart in his big moment for his career. He screwed him over. He said, I don't want to lose, but that's not going to work for me, brother. And so ended up, I think it was WrestleMania 9. Yep. They have Bret Hart lose, and then Hulk Hogan comes in and then beats Yokozuna in 2 minutes for the WWF title to go ahead and take the glory all for himself. And mind you, he's a good guy, ladies and gentlemen. This is the problem. He's a good guy. He's being portrayed as a good guy. That sounds like a real... I promise you I wouldn't curse that much on your podcast, so I'm not going to curse again. It was very rude.
No, I'm going to allow it. This one.
He's a McAsshole, bro.
Okay.
He's a McAsshole, bro.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, look, I don't got much else to say about Hulk Hogan. It's just, it is what it is.
No, I just wanted to make sure that people know. Because it's been brought up to me.
It cracked me up because even, like, probably
I could get away with just saying it on your pod. I'm not sure if I could get away with saying it on
earlier this week. Yeah. I don't know why the thought popped in my head. I'm like, I gotta have a Hulk Hogan take ready just in case. Like someone was telling me. I'm like, I knew. Hey, look, we just on the same wave. That Sixth Sense kicked in.
Yeah. It was previewed back when you came on, and so I was like, you know, if I was ever gonna let my emotions really speak, tonight was the night.
Fair enough.
That's all.
Right.
I wanted to get that out there. That's all. So like, I don't have beef. I didn't have beef with Hulk Hogan because of his love for Trump. It's because of all the other stuff that he's done in the past that it's hard to let go of. Political affiliations aside, I mean, do you know how many people I know that are Trump supporters or are right wing? I know a ton of them, and I got love for them. That's fine. We just don't see eye to eye on politics.
Oh, yeah.
We still treat each other with all the respect in the world. Hulk Hogan, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of a piece of crap, bro. And it had nothing to do with the political affiliations.
Exactly. That's why I just leave it at, look, bro, I don't really care about your political stance. Keep it to yourself. That's about all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. But if you ask me about Hulk Hogan, I'm not going to lie to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Question 3.
All right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of questions that I didn't get a chance to go ahead and ask you on when you came on TT. What's your affinity with Japanese car culture? Like, where does that start for you? Because I think I'm a huge JDM fan with you, but you have a very special relationship. I mean, my man out here goes ahead and sends me a voice message the other day and hits me in Japanese. I was like, and he called me Jorge-san. I friggin' geeked. I was like, all right, my man's been watching way too much DBZ and I can appreciate it.
So actually, I'm not a DBZ fan.
You
It's
know,
Naruto over DBZ.
Nah.
To each your own.
Yeah.
But actually, so it stems from Initial D.
Okay.
Yeah. Initial D was probably the anime that really got me hooked.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I tell people, that's why I choose the RX-7FD over the GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that should answer that question.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to one of your podcasts, the one that you released just this week. I was, kind of prepping myself and stuff like that. And I'm listening to it. This leads into question 4. And you brought up the fact that Divergent Being Media that you have, this whole conglomerate that you're building, which you're doing an amazing job with and whatnot. Congrats. You built it. The way you've been building it is very similar off of what you've seen from Complex over the last few years and whatnot. Complex has a variety of different things. I follow one of their pages on TT because they focus on focus a little bit on culture, which then kind of brings into car culture in some of the senses, which I really enjoy. But one of the things that sometimes, because they collaborate with all the Instagrams collaborate within one each other, so sometimes it'll be like Complex this with Complex that, and so a lot of times it pops up on my feed, and in particular it comes to like either fashion or music and whatnot, and it features a lot of new things which I'm not necessarily familiar with, like a lot of the SoundCloud rappers, which I don't really rock with, but at the same time it seems like, and maybe this is because I'm a little older and the generation that is working there now is younger, do you like the venue that they're taking in a lot of the hot take type things with their lists? Do you rock with that, or do you view it like, do you still appreciate it for what it is?
Well, when you say that, like what list?
So for example, like there was a list that I went ahead and saw the other day that went ahead. It was this dude who was like debating between all the different cool polo shirts and polo sweaters that had come out from the 90s and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's like a regional thing, because this guy's a New York guy, and it depended on if you were growing up in New York in the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens in the 90s. But like there was a lot of hot take affiliations. Hell, I even went ahead and they released 2 lists. They released a list of the best Jay-Z albums of all time, or they ranked them. They ranked all of Jay's albums, and then they ranked all of Kanye's albums. And I'm telling you, some of the rankings were flat out completely inaccurate.
Oh, trust me. But
And so, like, it seems like there's a hot take error there.
here's where I'll say, I'll start off with this.
Okay.
You like what you like. I think
Sure.
that's what you always have to start off with.
But let me ask you a question,
Yes.
genuinely straight up.
Mhm.
What's the greatest Kanye album to you of all time?
Late Registration.
That should be the majority of people's answers. Tell me why they put it at 5.
See, I think that's crazy.
That's
But
insanity.
here's the thing, though. When people say Graduation is their favorite, I don't knock it. When they
No,
say
no,
My
Graduation is
Beautiful
top
Dark
3.
Twisted Fantasy,
That's top 3, top 4.
I don't knock it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just for me, Late Registration is my favorite.
It's special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with Complex, like, it's kind of like a love-hate thing for me because it's like
Same
there's
thing with Stephen A.
time-
Smith, bro.
Oh yeah, but there's times with Complex I'm like, are y'all really about the culture, or do you just kind of just put stuff out there just to get a rise out of people?
Dude, I feel that.
Because keep in mind, if that's what you're doing, okay, I don't knock that. I mean, heck, we made a martyr out. Sadly, we made a martyr out of a dude that used to do that. You know who I'm talking about,
Right.
but it's like, as far as I've been told off camera, he was one of the nicest dudes ever.
Just be careful. Just to be clear, who exactly are you referring to?
Oh, I'm talking about CK.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody knows how I felt about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dude, so I don't need to get into
I
it.
just want to make sure that
But,
who you could have been talking
like I
to
said,
about. So
He's no longer here. I don't feel much need to speak ill will about him.
same with
So
Hulk
I'll
Hogan.
leave it there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, with Complex, so when I said what I said about I
knew what you said. I knew what
Yeah.
you meant. I was just curious
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're seeing that because you're building your stuff
Mhm.
in the same way that they've built it, but
Yeah.
right where they are at now, at the peak of their powers, they seem to be, as you said, not like now just saying whatever they so please.
Exactly.
Not actually,
And
you know.
I get why they do it. I do. But I also sit there and look at the consumer,
Right.
I'll put it as, and like, if this is the content y'all want to look at, it just kind of shows me as a society, you don't value quality, or you don't value like a genuinely good conversation.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, they've had some lists. I'm like, what? Like, who made these? Like, who signed off on this and said this was a good idea?
Yeah. Who said that the Black Album is the 5th greatest in Jay-Z's
Oh,
discography?
that's my number one.
That's the
Jay-Z
best album he's ever put out, bro.
Now, keep in mind, Reasonable Doubt, I will
That's-
say.
I mean, that's a classic.
No,
Yes.
I will say, if we're talking about pure like structure of an album, I'll say that's the best one. But in terms of songs that I genuinely like, the Black Album.
Black Album is near
Yeah.
perfection.
But that's just
bro.
my opinion.
So for that, see, that's the type of stuff. It's like I'm wondering, and maybe it's just, I hate to say it, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I'm just too old.
Well, everybody's got opinions.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, to put late registration, you know, that particular thing is like when they put late registration that low, I was like, bro, okay, now you're just trolling.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if some of the individuals who are putting up these lists is like when I do a podcast, I don't go out there with the thing of like, I'm
Right,
going to go
right.
ahead and troll everybody who's listening to this.
Right,
And if you did that, boy, are you an idiot for wanting to do so.
right.
You know? I am curious.
Okay.
Because how many episodes are you at right now?
Well, here's the problem.
You
There's
do
two
so many.
shows
Yeah.
for the Mackism Effect. The trend just hit 15. I'm going to say for like with guests, I'm gonna say this is 12, but I feel like that's wrong.
Okay. So not that many, but you also produce a lot of other stuff.
Exactly.
All right. So how much media do you consume? A lot of podcasting media these days, or
Yeah.
like what's
Yeah.
what's your amount of consumption of the other stuff?
I'd say I consume decent amount of podcasts. Like there's people that's all they do is listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Sure.
Because I don't want people's opinions starting to interject into mine.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of limit it. But also too, that's why I'm also very selective about which podcasts
Agreed.
I do consume.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I made the take a long time ago, and this is what started off a conversation with me and Jay a little bit. I feel like having a political podcast in the podcast space is the easy way out nowadays.
Well, yeah.
And I say
you could come across as a dick, and then I'm just telling the truth.
Exactly.
Both ways, mind you, not just one.
Yeah, exactly. And I say all the time, you don't even have to have all the facts, and people are still going to listen.
Sure. If you have less facts, people are more inclined to listen.
Exactly.
Because you seem to be going completely out of pocket with some of the stuff you're saying.
So I say with political podcasts, I'm like, look, bro, like, you don't even really have to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I feel I do a lot better than most people is I can pivot whichever way you want to go. And, say you just came on here and said, I wanted to talk about cars. We could have did that. Say you wanted to just talk about life.
Which I thought we were going to be. I knew we would talk wrestling. I didn't think it'd take up the majority.
To be fair, if you want to hear about cars, you go to his podcast. If you want to hear about anything else, maybe a little bit of cars, you come to mine.
Yeah.
Or Jay's for that matter.
Yeah, for sure. Both.
But no, really just consumption of media, like, I'm always looking at stuff, but it's like, it just kind of depends because I don't really look at stuff that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was just talking with a friend the other day and I was telling her, like, you'd be a really good content creator. And she, like, was very confused when I told her that. And I said, think about it. You can make content about anything now. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, prime example. I have 8 Instagram pages.
Do you really?
Yes.
My God,
but here's the thing, though. 3 of them are for Divergent Being. I just separated stuff.
Right.
2 of them, which it's technically only 1, but the other is, like, connected to it. It's my gaming page.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is my detailing company, which I have slowed down on detailing. My personal, the real Mackism, and then my spam one, which we'll actually get a picture for, Melanin Triple H.
Okay.
And that one was actually created by my good friend, also podcast colleague, Matt Freights.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's also a big WWE fan. And there was a picture of me and Eric Pasha.
Yeah. Last Era brand. Shout out to Eric. What up, bro?
Where
I would have worn my turbo sweater, but it's 95 degrees outside.
Yes. But me and him took a picture and I did the Triple H point.
Ah, yeah.
And that's when he started calling me Melanin Triple H.
Melanin Triple H is insane, bro. I love it.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, but just I try to look at as much content as possible just to study.
Yeah.
Now, my big problem right now I have is I need to learn how to more so reach people better. Because, I'm all for admitting when, okay, there's stuff I need to improve on. I feel that's how you get better at anything. Reach is what I need to improve on.
Like, actually, like, reaching out to people to go ahead and for them to be your guests?
Well, just everything.
Okay.
From reach on social media to reaching out to people to come on and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, everything reach.
See, DeVante's got this little thing where he thinks he's intimidated by everybody, which you shouldn't be.
Intimidation. Man.
Nah, I'm just playing with you. Shout out to our friend who I got you in contact with not too long ago.
Look.
Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about that a little bit.
We don't have to. But...
Nah, I have to.
No, I meant it in the sense only simply because you were like,
nah. I gotta talk about this. Okay. So, Jorge's friend.
Jorge's got a lot of friends.
Exactly. You may know her as Sunny Drives on Instagram, aka Solana. I'll just say that because we don't give out governments here. I don't know if people got
It's
priors.
on her.
or
It's on
anything.
her. It's on her thing.
I know, but I ain't saying that. I don't know if she got priors or something. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's what.
I'm
Where did
kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
Look,
It's all good, brother. Go
I'm
ahead.
kidding. Sonny, I'm joking. Look. For those that don't know her, sweetest, tiniest woman that
She's really not that tiny though. That's the funny thing. She's actually quite a little bit taller than people give her credit for. She's like 5'5", 5'6".
Well, every time I talk to her, she's sitting down.
Oh,
So that's why I think she looks tiny. But
Sure.
she's probably just as tall as me, if not taller than me. So, but still, the sweetest person ever.
Mhm.
Jorge would tell you, I was so nervous to
Yeah.
like even approach her about coming on the pod because I have a whole list of people I want on the pod, and she was one of them. And I was telling Jorge, I'm like, I don't know if I can ask her, bro. Like I just met her. Da 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 da. Like I'm kind of scared to ask her. So Jorge gets the idea to randomly put all three of us in a group chat. Keep in mind, it is almost 10 o'clock at night.
No, zero fucks given Jorge, bro.
I'm over here half asleep in this group chat. Like,
Did it work?
it did.
Thank you.
But at the same time, like, bro, like, you know how it felt like Game 7, game on the line. I got, like, a prime Michael Jordan guarding me, and I'm expected to take this game winner.
You either go big or you go home, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, look, one thing I will say is, I'm not scared to put up that shot. Now, you get the alcohol in me. Oh, hey, look, I'm pulling up like Game 7 Kyrie when he shot that 3 on Steph. I'm pulling up.
I can't believe that was 10 years ago, by the way.
I know, crazy, right?
Insanity.
One of the greatest
2016
finals
I
ever.
know, 2016 was a hell of a year, bro.
Crazy to think,
It
man.
really was.
I don't even remember it fully.
Bro, like, just sports.
Oh, insane.
I mean, Cavs beating the Warriors in Game
Mhm.
7 after being down 3-1.
Insane.
Cubs beating the Indians in the World Series and winning it after 108
Mhm.
years. I mean, all the music that dropped in 2016, all the movies that came out in 2016. My life changed in 2016. My wife tells me that she's expecting our first son in August of 2016 is when she
Wow.
told me he was born March of 2017.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So 2016, when I really think about it, was an enormous year for me.
Yes.
And the fact that it was 10 years ago is kind of just blows my mind.
But yeah. Now before we go on that tangent,
Sure.
Needless to say, Jorge gave me the assist of a lifetime.
Listen, bro, the amount of people that have given me assists, I can only do the favor back to people. So that's just,
But it's like I always tell you too, the main gripe that I have is a lot of people I want to talk to, you or Jay has already interviewed them, and I feel like I can't do it.
See,
sometimes.
okay, so you brought this up a couple different times, and I was waiting for you to go ahead and bring it up, and that way I could address it to you.
Mhm.
You, me, and Jay are all friends, right? You're my boy. Jay's become like a big brother to me. I genuinely appreciate and love Jay so fucking much. That guy, he's incredible. The three of us have completely different styles. Like, we did not color coordinate tonight, by the way. I did not. I wore this because I told myself if I'm coming to DeVante,
coordinated my shoes,
bruh. Yeah, you like the MBs right here?
We working on.
I'm trying. But like,
I already
we
got
have
2 proteges. I'll take on a third.
But the thing about us is the three of us have different styles and whatnot.
Yes.
You can't look at it as, oh, well, Jorge already had him or her on the show, or like Jay and I have had multiple guests together.
I'm very aware.
I'll have them. I'll check with them. I'll check them. Like in the sense,
Oh,
like for
yeah.
example, like shout out to my boy Josh Benjamin, AMG Josh, who's now the director of Avant here in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area. That's my guy. I love to see it that he went ahead and has this amazing opportunity and whatnot. He's been on my pod as well as Jay's, and him and Jay are homies and whatnot. And by the way, I haven't reached out to Josh yet in terms of doing this again, although I did reach out to congratulate him. But I checked with Jay. I was like, hey, listen, man, I think I'm maybe going to try and reach out to Josh and have him come back on since he just went ahead and just became the new director. I think it'd be really cool to go ahead and have that conversation with him. Just to check with you, are you planning on doing so at any point? Because if not, I'll hold off. He was like, do your thing, bro. So those types of conversations I'm willing to have and whatnot. But I know for a fact that he's going to get something completely different from Josh than I will, in the same way that you'll go ahead and get something different from anybody else. Like me and you, we both had Mari within like a month.
Yeah, that was
Right?
great. Yeah.
But how different are those two interviews?
True.
Completely different. So what I say to you is, you have such a different dope style to what I do. Do not put yourself in the corner and be like, oh man, Jorge or Jay had him on. I'm not sure I should.
I know, man.
You know what I mean? No, don't do that, because you are, anybody who watches this show knows that this man is the real deal. This dude is amazing. He's dope. He's smart. He's intellectual. He knows how to be in front of a mic. He knows how to be in front of a camera, and he knows how to make people feel uncomfortable here on this couch. No Diddy. I'm just saying, so do not for everything that is holy. Hell, you and I have both had Gio on, and we had two completely separate interviews and whatnot. So don't put yourself in that corner, bro.
Fair enough.
You know what
I
I mean?
appreciate that.
Yeah, no
man.
doubt. You do an amazing job.
All right.
Yeah.
Final one.
What's my final question? Okay. Who as you continue to progress with the Mackism Effect, as you continue to progress into a divergent being media and stuff like that, how do you view your biggest inspirations to go ahead and make you continue to evolve your respective venues? Because obviously you talked about Complex, but that was viewed as how I'll build it. What are your current inspirations now to go ahead and, whether it's podcasting, YouTube, anything like that?
It's tough to say, because I've actually answered this question slightly on the Mari episode.
Yeah.
Because I told her, and I still stand on this point, I don't have too many inspirations, because I will always sit there and, it's like that whole debate that got started. $50,000 or dinner with Jay-Z.
I love Jay. You don't take that 50,000, I'm slapping the hell out of you.
So here's the thing. I used to say I would kind of do that dinner with Jay-Z.
Yeah, which is fair.
But my mindset has changed.
But the funny thing is, Jay would tell you to take the 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I have the mindset now where I'd tell Jay-Z the biggest mistake he ever made was not knowing who DeVante Mack is. Because here's the thing. I know he'd slightly respect it because I believe in myself that much. But it's like, I know that sounds crazy hearing that. But you got to understand.
Does it though?
No, well, for the viewers, I know somebody's like, what? But here's my thing. Oh, even my podcast that I assist on, he's a Jay-Z stan. He's never heard me say that. But no, I just have the mindset of, look, I know what I'm capable of. So it's like, that's just how I'm going to view it. But if I had to give a few inspirations, Devin on Deck, he's a fashion guy. Okay. What I really enjoy about him is he actually just started getting into cars a few years ago.
That's so dope.
And it's been super cool to see him transition into that. Because even he kind of talked about it, because he's planning an event with a car club out in LA. Right. And he was saying, like, I'm just not sure if I can do it, because, I kind of feel like an outsider trying to, like, do this. And, I really respected that so much, because it showed the vulnerability, but also, too, it showed, like, hey, look, shoot or shoot, man.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed him transitioning into cars. I mean, obviously, I was already a fan of his fashion content, but just to see him pivoting
into something that you love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of, well, another thing that I love, but also just to see, like, hey, he took a gamble and it's working.
Right. Yeah.
I love to see it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeVante Kyle, who I've also spoke of before, host of the Grits and Eggs podcast. He's another one.
Cool.
Just because I really like how he just goes about not only just talking in general on his pod, but really just more so just being his authentic self all the time. Yes, it is brash. It is very brash. I will tell anybody that tries to listen to that podcast or watch that podcast, he's cutthroat. But I can respect it because he's being himself. Yeah. And I always respect that. And then really just, I kind of take bits and pieces from everybody. Right. You know, there's stuff I take from you that I'm like, okay, yeah, I could maybe work
Imitation
on that.
is the sincerest form of flattery.
Exactly.
Is what they say, so.
Things...
If I've inspired you in some way, shape, or form, bro, I'm like, all right, cool, man. That's a sweet. I'll take that to the grave.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Stuff from Jay that I take.
Oh, I take.
Heck, there's stuff from Rebecca. I whenever she puts on it, I'm like, okay, yeah, let me notate this. I like how she did this. I like how she did that.
No, I think, and you know what the funny thing is, we live in an area that I feel like I'm surrounded by so many inspiring people myself. You know. I would be a fool if I didn't mention the fact that, you know, Ray Roberts is an unbelievable inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I told her, she was like, don't name drop me. Well, I'm name dropping you, goober. She is an inspiration in a variety of different ways. The way that she thinks about her business, but also her art. Additionally, how she she's truly next level. And the funny thing is, she's not even 25. It's insane. Crazy. And I'm just like, bro, that's like, in one pinky, the amount of talent that she has is absolutely ridiculous. So I got to give her a shout out. And of course, if I'm going to go ahead and shout her, I can't not shout out Michael, who I always say we need to protect at all costs. It's my boy. Kayla Rundle is an enormous inspiration. I'd also be, you know, behooved if I didn't mention the fact that her and her lovely now husband Sam got married in Japan earlier this week, bro. Cool. And whatnot. So those are homies of mine. Yeah, massive congratulations to them. She's become both of them actually have been such staunch supporters over the last year and a half.
Nice.
And they become really good friends. And a lot of the things that she does, like the amount of things that her and I talk about business wise to try and go ahead and elevate my craft in some way, shape, or form is more than people realize and whatnot. So I have enormous amounts of respect for her and what she does. Jay's an enormous inspiration too.
Actually, I just thought about it right now.
Jay's a massive inspiration, just how he does it.
One that I almost forgot about. Another fellow podcast colleague, actually two of them. My guys Greg and George that host the Sneak Dish Sneaker podcast. Without them, Drinks and Kicks probably would not have been created. So
that's what's up, man.
Say that.
No, that's awesome. And yeah,
oh yeah, Jay Fanning.
Jay Fanning's amazing. But then I actually grew up on a lot of the I'm sure you grew up on some of the journalists and stuff like that. I did too. Especially in my late teenage into my early adulthood and whatnot. Some of these individuals have become friends of mine within the space, which is unreal to think about. And that's not a flex that I'm trying to go ahead and do and whatnot. It's just unreal to think about that I have text phone numbers of some of the dudes who I've grown up watching and or reading and or listening to and stuff like that. And I can call them up and be like, hey man, you want to do a show? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, that's wild to me, bro. And they've been legit inspirations of mine for a long time. And so without them, Tormenting Tarmac wouldn't be what it is right now, because I'm trying to formulate it based on the things that I see, the things that I love. You know, Ron Morris, who's one of my best friends in the world. He's the person I co-founded TT with. He's an enormous inspiration for what he does. My best friend D, who does my music for TT, he's the biracial angel, as I like to call him. He's an enormous inspiration too. I don't like to tell him that because he's a piece of shit sometimes, but I love him to death. So
oh man, I feel it. Well, final question before we get out of here.
What's up, bro?
Give me 3 people that you want to see on this pod, but you have to help me get them
on. Everybody says Ray. That's a dog.
Yeah, I know. I've even talked with her about it.
Yeah,
it'll get done one day. So we're gonna exclude her and Michael.
Yeah, sure. Yes. We'll exclude her. Let me think for 1 second. Who do I think? Okay. You jokingly said I have to help you get them on and stuff like that. I can't help you get everybody on, but I will say this: I have done my best to try and get people who have inspired me over the last few years into Tormenting Tarmac, and it was hard, and it's been hard. Some people I still haven't gotten yet, and I would like to.
Same.
So I would say chase after individuals who you think it's almost impossible and make the impossible possible. So that sounds like a bunch of bull crap that I just said, right? But like, I'm here to tell you, I messaged Matt Farah a long time ago, and he left me on red. And I was like, well, I guess he's never going to do my show. 2 years later, I reach out to him again. This is after I'd had Zach Clapman on multiple times. And I get the DM back of saying like, yeah, man, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. I'd love to. Tell me when. And I was like, hey, yo, pause. I had to triple check that message about 18 times to make sure that he was really for real. And he's now done my show twice. And I recognize not everybody's the biggest Matt Farah fan and not the biggest Smoking Tire fan. I respect that. He's been a big inspiration of mine for a really long time. And the fact that he now knows me by name and can do my show just should tell you that no matter what, if you continue to put in the effort that you do right now, you will absolutely be able to go ahead and get whoever the hell you want on, no problem. They'll see your work, they'll admire it, or at least you can go ahead and continue to go ahead more people that are close to them that they'll be able to go ahead and be like, oh yeah, that person's legit, he'll do your show, that sort of stuff. That's who you should chase after. Everybody says Rebecca. Obviously, you should get Rebecca on. I think you need to get Jay on, no doubt. You got to get Jay. If you're going to have me on, you got to have Jay on.
Of course.
100%.
Of course.
That was a lot. I think I gave you like 5. Kayla Rundle. Get Kayla Rundle on this podcast. Kayla Rundle can't just be a Tormenting Tarmac exclusive. That's not fair. I can't.
I've actually never met her.
You haven't?
I have.
She's a sweetheart and a half, and she's legit as hell.
Okay.
Yeah. That Camaro of hers is ferocious.
That's
bro.
about the only thing I know about her.
That's all you need to know. Well, that and the fact that her work ethic is ridiculous. Yeah. She's one of the smarter business women I've ever met in my entire life. 100%. Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, Jorge, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, brother. Too sweet, me, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Definitely go check out Tormenting Tarmac. I've already said this numerous times. Go check it out. I'll pull up and force you to listen to it.
Throw a fade on y'all, man.
Exactly. Also, real quick,
yeah.
I need to shout this out real quick because he's my guy. And I just want to make sure that I do shout him out.
I got a shout out to you for someone else, by the way, real quick when you're done.
So, Sunday, April 19th, 7:30 to 10 a.m. Kyusha Club.
Ah, yeah.
Make sure to go.
I haven't been yet.
That's the best
I need
cars
to do
and
it, bro.
coffee out here. I'll stand on that.
Bro. I know. Shout out to all my homies that go out to it. Jordan, Low Baller GTR. Obviously, Eric goes out there all the time.
Yeah, I link up with those two
Yeah. Shout out to Phil, Mr. Aficionado. That's my boy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's dope as hell.
Yeah, I love that dude. Actually, I was trying to buy his 997 Turbo for the longest time. God damn.
But you know what? That scud of his now. Sheesh. Shout out to my boy Phil.
Yes, sir.
Love to see it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But you said you had somebody else
I
shout out?
have to shout this out.
All
man.
right, what you got?
Speaking of of the people that I just mentioned, like Eric and Jordan and Phil and whatnot, we have a friend, my friend Chad Randall, Apex Dream Cars, a fantastic photographer, somebody who I got actually a fellow West Sider like myself and you. He's actually like 15 minutes up the road from my house up in the Surprise area. So shout out to Big Chad. His daughter has been battling an enormous battle with I believe it's leukemia or a form of cancer. I believe it's leukemia. And earlier today, I saw on my phone that she is free to go home. Her levels are back to a place that it needs to go ahead and be at. A couple of years ago, she had her arm amputated. Because of the cancer and whatnot. It came back ferociously a couple months back, and so they've been dealing with that. She was not home. She was over at the hospital in Scottsdale for the last couple months getting treatments and whatnot. Had to go through chemo all over again and whatnot. I've never experienced that, with the exception of my grandmother, who passed away from breast cancer in 2015. That's the closest thing. This is a man's daughter, and it makes me angry that a person of the high quality of character that is Chad Randall and his family have to go ahead and deal with this situation like this. But they are such good and unbelievably great people, and they have so many people behind them. You can't do but nothing but wish them the best.
Oh yeah.
And I want to put this out there because there's a lot of people who will go ahead and say that they're going through something. They may be and they may be not. And then a lot of people gravitate towards that. They're like, oh my God, it's so sad. And it might be bullshit, it may not be. Chad's family's going through something real. That's not bullshit. And the way that man has fought for his family, the way that his daughter Kylie has gone ahead and fought through this is heartwarming, and that's strength. That's a real warrior. And so, Chad, if you watch this, I love you. I love your family. God bless you all. And I'm glad to see that your daughter is doing a lot better, and I pray that she stays that way. So I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to the Randalls real quick.
Amen. Wishing y'all well.
That's
yes,
my guy.
Sir. Yes, sir. Well, I feel that's a great way to end this episode off.
Yeah.
Till next time, y'all be easy.
Enthusiasts never die. Thank you, bro. So please don't tell me that I just did the longest episode of your entire run, bro.